Hello, Facebook. Okay, we are on live as I wait for God's people to come in. Ooh, this is a topic today. Man, all right. I see someone on. Let me know who's out there. Okay, we'll be getting ready in the next 3 minutes to go into the lesson. You all, this is a good lesson, and it just ironic how God gives the different topics, and it's like something that I went through. Okay. And so this definitely is going to be what they say a truth factor is definitely going to be truth on today. And I'm just excited for all of God people to just grow in Him, just grow in the Word, learning how to do things differently, increasing our faith. And I like that he gave this platform with Breaking Through Barrier Ministry with my two pastors. Okay, we have Pastor Shireen Hicks and Maurice Hicks. I cannot thank them enough for allowing me to share this platform. I see people coming on in. Say hello to me. Say hello. I just appreciate you all coming on and definitely hearing God's word today, man. Okay, thank you. Hello, Tasha. Thank you. Hello, Stephanie. All right, Tasha and Stephanie. Okay, um, and I know that it's more. Man, this topic here. Thank you. I see more coming on. More coming on. I'm gonna let you all know what the topic is right now. Is are you a grudge holder? Learning how to forgive. Woo! Thank you. Okay, Sister Barbara Washington, I see you. Hello. And so you all, we will be beginning in 2 minutes. And man, I'm telling you, when God gives the topics, it has to hit home first. And to me, lately with the topics, that's how I'm able to relate. I'm not above anybody. Trust me, when he throws the topics out, I'll be like, ooh, okay, Lord, you know you talking about your daughter, right? you know, but hey, he see where others may need healing in certain topics and certain things, or may say that they don't know and can't be held accountable for it. But once you know, I mean, you can't take back what you know. And so it's just pretty much just having people to expand on things that we might have been told, and we just chose to do it differently. And so with this, are you a grudge holder? Man, when we get started, you all, in the next minute and a half, I'm calling truth that people can look at you on the outside, especially little old me, but I promise you, hmm, I was a pro at it. I can't lie. I was a pro at holding grudges. Notice was. That's the key word, was. And don't allow, and I know I said this time again, don't allow people to hold you back from hold you to some things that you used to do in your past, because that's you're not that person no longer. And so for me, definitely not that person. Sometimes I have to chuckle because I know how far I came. And I had someone today say something to me who had been around me for like 17 years. And first thing she had said was, "No, Miss Shawnee, I see your growth." And I told her, I said, "Thank you for that." And so I told her, but let me tell you all, because we're going to get ready to dive in. Um, I told her, when a illness happened first that you ain't never heard of. Let's just start right there. But secondly, when it can change the look of your face, for me, that was enough for me when I had got Bell palsy over 2.5 years ago. I was like, I don't care what people say, how they said, the way they said, I'm gonna let it just roll off me. I was like, I can't get stuck there. And so today, you all, we are talking about, are you a grudge holder? Okay. Can you learn, or have you learned how to forgive? And as I was driving in, I mean, God constantly gives the nuggets. And he had said something real good. And I'm going to just share this with you all, because we're talking about, are you a grudge holder? And have you learned how to forgive? And as I was driving in, you all, the one thing first, have you ever been in a situation, and I just need y'all to say yes. Have you ever been in a position, a circumstance, that you had to forgive yourself? That was deep. As I was driving in, and let me just give a perfect example. Thank you for everybody that's coming in. Let me give a perfect example of that. You know, if you had told yourself something that you wasn't going to do, and it just, you decided to do it anyway. I don't know, at that moment, maybe you thought that it was going to come out different or whatever, but when it came out the way that you knew originally how it was going to come out, sometimes we see me. Thank you. Okay. That you did something, you had to forgive yourself for it, and it's like, why did I do that? Knowing it. And when we talking about forgiveness, it's just not with other people too. Sometimes we got to let go things that we had allowed to happen, even when it didn't turn out the way that we wanted to. And I'm telling you, I have been through some things that, thank you for that, Stephanie, that you have to learn how to forgive yourself. And it's harder when it's, I'm just, we being real now, you all. It's harder when you have to learn how to forgive others. It's not an easy thing, but when you live with the person, you live with yourself, you gotta forgive yourself. And I'm telling you, I mean, you'll be just with disappointment, because you'll say to yourself, man, I knew better. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Brother Kirby, thank you for coming on. We talking about, are you a grudge holder, and have you learned how to forgive? And so, you all, we're going to go through some of the scriptures in the Bible. And I'm like, okay, Lord, how can I really break this down? And I just start typing in, what does the Bible say about grudges? Okay. And remember, I told you all, good evening. Okay. Thank you. Okay. I play my own here. We're talking about, are you a grudge holder? And one thing that I call truth, okay, with these topics, and being, man, a grudge holder, you cannot cross me in no way, and I'll be sitting up giggling with you. I was just that person. I felt that if you did something to harm me, or you was being mean to me, whatever the case, I was a pro for yourself and not other. Absolutely. I was a pro at I ain't gonna be around you. I don't care what you say. And I'm telling you, as we get deeper into the topic, you know what was the very thing that had changed me. Okay. It's one thing in our life that may come across and we become a whole new person. And so we're going to start with Ephesians 4:31 and 32. And I want definitely to read it. It said, let all bitterness and wrath and anger, okay, and slander be put away from you, along with all malices. Be kind to one another, tender hearted, forgiving one another as God in Christ forgave you. And as I was reading it, okay, I used to feel the same way. I'm telling you, as I was reading it, it was like Christians are called to pull away the things which entangle unbelievers. And so when I was reading that verse, I was like, wow, not knowing back then, we talking about growth, okay? Definitely growth over 17 years ago of growth. But if we want to line up with Christ, okay, God the Father, it's just some things we cannot hold others if we looking for forgiveness for ourselves. Now, if you ain't looking, if you ain't never looking for God to forgive you for some of the things that you have done, okay, then, I ain't talking to you, because see, you're not going to get those blessings. And then God is not going to forgive your trespasses as well. And so I was like, oh, Lord. So it's funny how the teaching happened, and God waited for years. And look, a time such as this, and waited years and years later, for me to talk on something that he knew. He probably was shaking his head. My daughter, look at her. But y'all, I couldn't even be moved. You could sit in a room with me, and it was just so funny that my sister Tasha, I could chuckle at it now. Uh, just said to me, "Oh, Shawnee, yes." She said, "Girl, I would be in a room with you if I said something that you did not like." She said, "You would not say nothing. I would get silent night. You all could look at you, stare at you, all of that, and still not say anything." But y'all, look, this is the part that's funny. And thank you. I see more coming on, more coming on. She don't know. Some of that time, y'all, when I was being quiet, some of that time, and I might as well let her know, and she probably know now. Shoot, she used to buy me stuff, and I used to chuckle so I could start talking back to her, and I'll be like, okay, what's she gonna buy me now? And she come with some good gifts, okay? So a little of that stuff was on purpose, okay? Yes, came along, and man, my friend Stephanie on here definitely could attest. Thank you all for coming on, okay, coming from Breaking Through Barrier Ministry. But I promise you, I, whew, yeah, when you can look in the mirror and see your growth and see how far you came, I mean, being a self pleaser for yourself, not for others. I'm just being honest, not for others. So we're going to move on to Matthew 6:14 and 15. And you all, man, some of these scriptures that he gave, it was just touching home. It said, for if you forgive others their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive others their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. And you all, I thought about it. I mean, I can't lie to you. I and my family definitely are blessed of where we are now. But I do think back that, Shawnee, you wasted so much time when you was holding grudges, being mad, okay, because of what others have done towards you. I could have been farther along, okay? But I will never know that, because see, we can't get time back. So remember that we just can't get time. So when you in that moment, you may have to ask yourself, is this worth it? You know? And so I'm gonna tell you all a story. And this is when my truth came. This is when I had to really woman up. I want to definitely say, oh Lord, we going on 27 years come this January of being cervical cancer free. And I remember having everybody praying for me and everything. But I remember right before I was going into the hospital, you all, I was like, look, Lord, I got to forgive everybody. Y'all, at that moment, I was like, this is true. I don't want to go under the knife having my heart being hard or just being harsh towards anybody. So at that moment, I was like, Lord, I love everybody. I know he probably was cracking up at me, but I was being truthful. And my hardest test came, you all, with, I must say, I can say a neighborhood friend because I ain't gonna put a name out there. Okay. She so happily worked at the hospital that I was at. And when she came in, because it kind of startled me because I wasn't expecting to see her at this hospital and let you know she was one that I held a grudge against. I'm talking about y'all some years, like 11 years. Okay, pathetic, ain't it? But thank God for growth. Okay. And she came into the room and I was like, what you doing here? You work here? And she was like, yeah, Shawnee, I work here. And I was like, wow. Holding on to grudges, man, just sickening you. Absolutely. It does. And I promise you, the moment she came in that room, instead of just telling her, like I was saying to God, I was like, Lord, I love everybody. I forgive everybody. Here was the true test. This is the one you held a grudge for 11 and 12 years. Let's see if you forgive everybody. At that moment, you all, before I want to say I had went through surgery. I had already said that I forgive everybody, but she came in the room. I was able to tell her, "You forgive to be forgiven." Absolutely, I was able to share with her that I forgive her, and so it had got around to all our friends. And my sister Tasha was like, "Girl, what did you say to her?" And I said, I just told her, I don't hold no grudges. I forgive her. And I'm sorry that I wasted all this time. She said, girl, she ain't called and told everybody. But y'all, this is the true testimony. Despite I had told her that I forgive her at that moment, and I had not a clue until I was out of the hospital. I'm just telling you how God would line things up. She was coming into the room, you all, every day, every night. I was asleep though. I had no clue that she was actually coming and checking on me and seeing me. I didn't know that until after I got out the hospital. And she was like, Shawnee, she said, I didn't know if you ever would feel my presence. She said, but I came in every day to check on you. And I couldn't believe it because he was a person that we had really not spoke you all into 11 or 12 years. I just told her at that moment that I forgave her. And God put it in her heart to come and check on me. I'm going to try not to get emotional every day. Okay. So I'm just telling you, you never know that person. I'm just saying that very person that we holding grudges towards or we not talking to or whatever the case may be. You never know if you need that person. I'm just being honest, y'all. And I don't know. God just had me to speak on this, holding grudges, whatever. And I get in more detail about certain stuff. But unfortunately, me and that friend, actually, we didn't stay friends. But you know what? God gave me the opportunity to whisper to her and tell her, this one is not on me. It's on you. And I smiled and I was able to walk away, but we just never got back where we were. But I wanted her to know it wasn't going to be another 11, 12 years. No. Y'all, that took too much energy. Let's just be 100. when you're mad at somebody and you thinking about how you could get back at them, or the revengeful part of it, or whatever, that's energy. And y'all, that's wasted energy. And one of my pet peeves, well, two of my pet peeves is time and money. And I think about that time, okay, the time that was wasted, and be able to share, y'all, when we thinking about how people feel about us, they ain't thinking about that. I'm just being 100 with you. You holding on to something that a person done, and they going to sleep every night. They not missing a beat with sleep. Okay. And so now we're gonna talk about, okay, Mark 11:25. And whenever you stand praying, forgive. If you have anything against anyone, so that your Father also who is in heaven may forgive you your trespasses. And see, we had talked about that. Nobody perfect but Jesus. We already established that. And if you are in a position that you don't think you would never, I have to tell the students this all the time. Because kids, okay, they definitely can hold grudges and they can be mad. But I had told them one day you're going to need God to forgive you for something. And they looked at me. I said, look, I'm just telling you, learn this lesson quickly. You 8, 9, 10, you got a head start. You're going to need somebody to forgive you one day. And they looked, and actually their parent was able to attest it, agreed. She was like, LaShaunessye is telling you the truth. You don't know who you may make mad. You don't know how relationships may happen, what will go on, whatever the case may be. But you got to put yourself in a position to, okay? And then, man, so God can forgive you. It's just that simple. And so basically what Mark 11:25 is telling us, when praying, forgive anyone you have a grudge against, so God will forgive you and your sins. Okay? That's it. That's the commandment. That's, man, he made it so plain. He didn't say forget though. Notice that I always have to throw that in. That'd be my little side joke, you all, for real. I'll be like, okay, God said forgive now. He ain't say nothing about forgetting, okay? But that's true though. And so my thing is, once we can get in our mind to forgive people and forgive the things that they do. I know sometimes I have to look at people and I'll be like, they for real with that thing. That's all. And I'll start laughing to myself because I'll be like, he is real serious about that. And so I just wanted everybody to share. Okay. This was something that God had brought to me. Choosing to not hold grudges and learning to forgive is a choice we make by obeying and being committed to God. Did y'all hear that? When you are learning to forgive and not hold grudges, it's a choice. That word by itself is that simple. You could choose to remember and hold the grudges, or you could choose for it to just brush off your shoulder and you go about your business. And people might say, well, it's just not that simple. Trust me, I have been in some situations. I can lay some things out. I can tell you some stuff. No, it ain't that simple. Okay? It takes time, but we can, yes, it can be done. It definitely can be done. And before you know it, you will be like, wow, I got past that. And so you all, this is where we all get to participate. I need, if you can, if you will, share a situation when you had to forgive someone, big or small. We learning from each other. You ain't giving no specific names, but you could just say, this is what happened to me. It could be a relative, because we talking about, man, sometimes who will get your gut is relatives. But whether they had borrowed some money, have it ever been a time where someone did something towards you and it was a hard pill to swallow? We gonna put all of this out. We're gonna write it because we're gonna burn some things tonight. Okay, just start listening to stuff. Man, I appreciate it because we're growing from this. Everybody is growing. We are going to get past some things today. We're going to have more blessings coming our way. We are not going to be holding on to why this Sammy Sue, why did they do this to me, or why did this circumstance or situation happen. Look, we're going to move past some things today. And I appreciate you all just sharing. It doesn't have to be something extravagant, but just true. If somebody ever did something that it was a pill to swallow, if you could just share, whether that person had man borrowed some money from you and never said nothing to you, or if someone stole something or took something from you, if someone called you out or embarrassed you in front of others and you never thought in a million years, it could have been a best friend, it could have been a parent, it could have been anybody. I'm just being honest with you. Have anybody ever faced a situation where it took prayer to get past this? Oh, thank you. Woo! Call those things as though they are. Absolutely. Okay. Man. And wish them the wow. When I tell you that my play mom had put something on the line, and I believe, and what I love about her, Lord, oh, she don't even know, because she bringing some stuff and stirring some stuff with me as well. And I had never said this, but I am going to say it live. And I'm so grateful, because I wasn't going to say this. I forgive. And I never thought I had the grudges, but I forgive the ones that played a part when it came to Serenity and Spence Lodge. It took a lot. When people are downing your character and they get the haters and the naysayers to be on board, the biggest person is Lee Hendricks. And I would say it to self. I never said it out loud, but actually I would like to take this opportunity, whether he hears it or not, to thank him. Because see, you all, sometimes you got to thank people for those things that they do, because your season is up. And you got to be able to release it and forgive them so you can move on. Okay? And I agree with my play mom, man. And because I was there and I seen some of the things that had happened, I agree. And I knew that you had forgave them, especially, I mean, because that's the person, that's who you are. And so when you know people, okay, Stephanie, yes, when my cousin told me I would never be nothing, ooh, it took a lot for me to not say anything, okay, over the years, but I forgave. Man. And yes, Stephanie. And I was like, she don't even know. I could tell her, you saved me for plenty of stuff. And so that's what I'm talking about, you all. This is growth here. And I appreciate you all saying some things that was close and dear to heart. But we all are learning, we all are growing. And when other people hear this and then other people see this and they read it for themselves, it may help loose some things up with them. And I'm just being honest. They might be like, wow, here's my brother and sister. okay, that is sharing something dear to them and how they got past something. And I'm telling you, you have to learn from some things. And I don't know, you all, sometimes it be the people that's closest to us that want to see us fail or don't want to see things happen. Is it jealousy? Y'all, that's a whole nother lesson. Okay. So we talking about, are we grudge holders? And we learning how to forgive? And I'm just grateful that we at the stage that we're older, that we can forgive others. We forgive the things that they did not do or the things that we wanted them to do, or whatever the case may be. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Miss Green is on. Yes, yes. Okay. Just forgive. And let me tell you, you feel good. I'm telling y'all, if I knew sooner that forgiving, it's almost like, y'all, it's almost like something just lifts off of you when you forgive. It's like, you know what? It's like you're not burdened down. I think that's the best way to say. You're not burdened down with stuff that you just don't have no control over. Okay. Okay, working on it now. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so we're going to talk about Ephesians 4:26, you all. And the Bible said, be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your anger. Woo. Okay. Okay. It's like winning the lottery. Okay. Yes. Okay. Man, don't let, okay, go down. Y'all, that's when some praying come into play, faith come into play, because God letting us know, okay, that means don't let a day go by. Look, he still working on some of us, okay? So we all agree we not perfect here. And let me tell you, it took, now I can tell you now where I'm at right now. I don't let a day. I can't, y'all. I was like, this is just too much energy. And I was like, I'm older now. I was like, whether a person like me or not, like, let me tell y'all how I know I could get past grudges and stuff. When you know a person don't like you, or they talking about you, or they mean just being hard, and you know you still got to sign a check. Woo! You talking about some growth when you know that you and your family still got to write them that check. And y'all, I used to laugh when my sister would say, well, you know, they got some, it's almost like she would do it on purpose. You know, they got some vacation time left. I'd be like, oh Lord, help me. I'd be like, okay, just write it, just write it. I don't even want to know. Just write it. And so I laugh with that because when you're in that position that you know you still got to carry on and you still got to do stuff regardless of how a person treats you, because one thing for sure, I don't want nobody to tag my character, okay? And I don't want it to be true. I don't care if they talk about my character, because I got to line up and agree with what they're saying. But I do care if they say something and it's true. Okay. That's another topic as well. So sometimes saints, we we have to do that Hollywood stop. Okay. Think about it, then let it roll right off. And we talked about it not being easy. Okay. But with God's help, we can accomplish anything and everything. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, that's when your growth show. Absolutely. I'm going to tell you when I know that another time when I know that I was tickled, but I was laying in bed and we had someone that used to be around us and they really just was coming after us. Jealousy. I'm telling y'all, jealousy. But I know when I was laying in bed and I had prayed for that individual, Mm, mm, mm. Y'all, I know that I grew up. Let's just say that. And despite how that person was coming towards me and my family, I was like, Lord, I want you to bless her socks off. And I said, and I even chuckled. I said, Lord, enough to get her off of me. But I promise you, in the midst of that and him seeing the growth and being able to pray for that person, y'all, I couldn't even believe it when it was happening. But I know that was some grown up, some real grown up stuff. Okay. But when at the end that we became a winner, I I knew it was everything that was done prior to. I didn't curse the person. I didn't set out vengeance. I just didn't. And I promise you, when you don't set out vengeance and you don't hold those grudges, God is going to allow other people to see it. You don't have to, he don't need no help. You don't have to worry about it in due season. And I have that on my prayer wall, you all. And every day I have been walking in the past, especially from last lesson, we was talking about praying. In due season, he's going to show everything. Trust me, you won't have to worry about it. He's going to show it. Okay? Ooh, and look, we had talked about, ooh, when you show others that you were affected by their actions, y'all know you give up the power, right? And I had talked about it with you all. I just said it prior to, okay, in due season, that when you hold those grudges, those individuals not losing no sleep, let's just be honest, they not probably even remembering what they had did to you. I'm just being honest. You have to chuckle on some things. When you sitting up here and years go by, time go by, to the point that you be like, now why was I mad at this person? I'm serious. But that other person, I'm telling you, did not skip a beat. Probably not even paying attention that you don't care for them or whatever the case may be. I'm just being 100 with you all. They not losing no sleep. I need y'all to make sure that y'all hear me on that. You are the only one that's wasting the time, the energy. They going to sleep peacefully. I'm just saying. They ain't thinking about it. Okay, so we went over the grudges, you all, and I'm going to try to go into, because it was so much that God had gave me, and I was like, "Ooh, Lord," in this little time. But we're gonna go through some of the things that He talked about, the different stories and books in the Bible. He talked about Joseph. You all, we know all about Joseph. We know when his siblings, they had sold him into slavery. Okay, not only that, got lied on, went to prison because the woman had lied about something that he did to them. But can you? Ooh, now this, I don't even know why he doing this, but y'all, whoever is for, receive it. Can you forgive your sibling for something like that? They sold you. You wind up going into prison because you was falsely accused. Man, Joseph the Dreamer, okay? But y'all, look at what happened next. Because Joseph didn't have no vengeance, he didn't sit up here held any grudges. He didn't even sit up here. I hate to say it, but he really didn't even defend himself. Okay, but it wasn't no need. What did we talk about in Play Mom and Put in Due Season? You all, he elevated. He was right up there. And he didn't have to curse. He didn't have to do no vengeance towards nobody. I thought that that was the perfect example of seeing someone go through a lot. Okay? Now, that's a hard pill to swallow. Yes, it is. And that your siblings wronged you. Okay? And not knowing later with the phantom, all that, not knowing that they was going to have to come through him, and he recognized them before they recognized him. I'm just saying, you never know what position that God puts you in. And when I came up with this story, yeah, this was a hard one. And then he talked about, in the Bible, we talked about, ooh, okay, we talked about so many, you all. He talked about the prodigal son, how the father, he had so much money and the inheritance and all of that. Um, y'all know when money come involved, people show their true colors. Okay, we don't have to tiptoe around that. But look, when you are able to forgive others, okay, with assembling that, absolutely, me too. Okay, I'm with you on that. You can attest that, man, when you trying to forgive, no one would have been able to tell me that one of my siblings that we would have skipped talking to each other for 3.5 years. I would have told them they telling a story to me. But y'all, when it happened, that stuff was real. And I was like, never would have thought it. Okay. But when other things come into people's life and then they turn and situations and stuff like that, you all, things will happen when you least suspect it. And so I like when uh even when the son decided to spend all his money and wanted to ask his father, how can he be one of his servants? But you know what? That didn't even matter to the father. He was just so happy that his son came back. Okay. And that he embraced him. And sometimes you all, I know it'd be hard. Ooh, I will be the last one to say that it's something easy. Embracing someone, knowing that they have attacked your character, attack you as an individual. Um, it's hard. It's definitely hard. But guess what? For me, I had to look at what's on the other side. What blessing am I keeping myself from if I just release this? And y'all, that's how I actually got past a lot of stuff. Okay? I had to literally say that about about the situation. I was like, if I could get past this, what am I keeping myself from? And when I release certain things, you all, it seemed like God, the door opened even more, even though it was a hard task to do. But knowing that I was able to forgive the individual, the circumstance, the situation, let's be real, real. Can't nobody stop anything, even when God has it for you. I say that to a lot of people all the time. When God has something for you, can't nobody stop it. I don't care if they talk about you. What's the purpose of holding the grudges or being mad? Because they can't stop what God has for you. Hear me, saints, when I say that. Okay. Then we talking about Stephen when they had stoned Stephen. Okay, Stephen. I'm sorry. They had stoned Stephen. And at the end, you all, it just was deep. I want to say one of the things that he had talked about while in the midst of being killed, Stephen, he forgave those who were stoning him. Woo! Y'all, now that's deep. And y'all think that's deep. Oh, we finna go deeper. Jesus. we all know that it was people that did not like him and was doing everything. And then when the crucifixion crucified these people, they ain't even know it's a thief on. They giving a thief more recognition to Jesus. I'm just being honest, okay? Judas, ooh, y'all. When you have your right hand man or right hand girl or ride or die or whoever, and they turn on you, you talking about some forgiveness juice. Now that's some forgiveness for you. But guess what? Jesus, he had said it. Lord, forgive them. They know not what they doing. He forget why he was hanging up there. Okay? And then you got Judas trying to sell out for some money. Okay, just the stuff that people do, man, just to sell you out. Okay, but I had a Judas situation, and I often explain this to people where, man, I was close with someone. I went to reach out to hug the person. A spirit came, y'all, and pushed me back. I'm fighting with the spirit. I'm like, no, that's my ace. Y'all, I didn't know the next day. The next day, I'm talking about the next day, not a day after, the next day. Got in a meeting. The person sold me out, my sister. I mean, just when I tell you that vengeance, woo, and y'all, it's so funny. Thank you, Lord. You just never know when stuff really happened or why it happened. Okay? Let her know I forgave her before she went home. Thank you. Woo! That's deep, y'all. Now that's a topic right there. Thank you for sharing that, Play Mom. Knowing that somebody is on their deathbed and they wrong you. Have you ever been in a situation, and I thank you for that testimony right there, to forgive them, knowing that they are their last days. And I'm telling you, that's what I tell y'all. That's been a grown up, okay? You being grown, okay? Okay, you being real grown when you could do that. Okay, but guess what? You might as well. I'm just saying, you got people today that are mad at people who are no longer on this earth. Y'all think about that. Okay? Think about that. Thank you, Play Mom. Think about holding on to grudges of people who are no longer on this earth. Who are you really competing with? I'm just saying, stuff got to make sense. And look, we intelligent people. Okay, thank you all for coming in. We are intelligent. And we think about some of the stuff that we do and go through, we'll be able to say to ourselves, you know what? This got to roll off me. Okay, it just really, really, truly had to roll off of me. And so you all, I was able to tell y'all some stories. Now with the forgiveness part, y'all must try to read some of the scriptures, and then I'm going to, oh, Jesus, thank you. Okay. Ooh. Okay. I just need to know if this has happened to you as far as forgiving. And we're being honest right now, family. How many of us been hurt by someone truly close to you? And how did it affect you? Did you shut down? Did you cry it out? I'm just asking. Has anyone ever that was so close to you and it hurt you? And I think my play mom, when she definitely shared some things and how she had to release some things. And I thank her for allowing me to release something that I had wanted to release, even though I forgave him. I've been past it, but I had never said it out loud. I actually had these conversations with God. So he allowed this platform. So sometimes you all, that's why when I be asking some questions, sometimes God has this platform because there's some things he want us to release. And he want us to release them right now. Okay? Don't let the opportunity of the moment pass you by because you don't know what is attached to it. I just want us to think about something. If I release that very thing, I was talking to everyone and cried and many nights I had to talk to God. Absolutely. If you allow that very thing that is attached to you, if you release it and release it now, you don't know what you have set out in the atmosphere. That God, the attraction will, law of attraction, you all will bring it forth. He just been waiting on us. Release it. Forgive whoever wronged you. I'm telling you, the price is bigger on the other side. You will have to chuckle and be like, whoop, I could have had this a little bit sooner. Okay? Just had to, yeah, let it go. I'm telling you, your health will get better. Just things will start getting, things will start getting better. You would be like, all of a sudden, to the point you would have to say, wait a minute, I remember when this was bothering me. Release it. Release it now, family. Release it now, saints. Don't let it get the best, okay? Let it all go. Forgive, yes, Pastor. Forgive, let it all go, okay? And so you are, I'm going to just tell you with 2 Corinthians 5 and 17, we talking about forgive. Oh, this is when you asking God to Christ to become a new person, being changed by Christ. Look, you don't want to be changed by nothing else. You want the change to happen through Christ, okay? We also talking about Proverbs 28:13. Cover up sins will lead to more problems. Ooh, y'all, I'm telling you, let go, let go. If you don't hold it on to these grudges and these forgiveness, not forgiving, it's going to do is create more problems. I'm telling y'all, look, a perfect example. I went through it 11 years, 12 years. I'm not saying that the cervical cancer wouldn't have happened, but what I am saying, because I was holding on to these grudges and all with this one individual, that I had to face something in life. I had to face cervical cancer. And the very thing that happened when I was able to release you all, I was able to forgive everybody. That's when my second chance came in. I'm just saying, some things is not worth it. Some things you just have to release, let go, and man, say, have at it. Just have at it. Okay, let it go and forgive. Then we got Psalms 103 and 12. Oh, okay. Complete forgiveness from God. Never be held, accumulate for then they will never come back to hunt you. Okay? We want to get past these tests. We don't want these same things to be happening to us that you find yourself. And this is the thing, you all, just being 100. When you really forgive deeply in your heart, you're not going to really keep talking about it. Then the forgiveness haven't been there. Because see, if you keep talking about it and harping on it and talking about it and harping on it, then you really didn't forgive the situation. I mean, I got to be real with us too, okay? If you harping on it, you talking about, and don't get me wrong, for us to get past some things, I promise you, it's a process. You are going to talk about it because it hurt you. It hit home. But as the time go and as you pray and you pray and you ask God to help you, I promise you, once you get past those things and you let it go, you're not gonna keep talking about it. You're gonna be moving on with your life. Okay. And then we got James 4:7. Okay. Resist temptation to sin. Okay. Letting us know that the devil resist the devil and the devil will flee. You got to think of something that is not of God. And one of the things that he asks of us is to forgive. Forgive our neighbors. He just said forgive. Forgive everybody for their trespasses. Because if you don't, then you don't want nothing from him. And I know y'all, we need him. We need God for real. Okay. And so I want to definitely end with this. Oh, okay. I got to read this one, you all. Matthews 5:44. This means to intercede with God on behalf of our enemies. Love in a way that is more difficult than simple. Y'all, we got to pray for our enemies to receive good things. That's deep. And remember, I told y'all something that happened to me, your city for a moment. And when the Lord gives you answers to what you don't understand, oh, why me? And he replies, why not you? Absolutely. And we had talked about that too in church. Man, he will definitely bring you through it. Okay? Those tests. Think about it. When we go through things in life, it's not really for us, it's actually to help somebody else. And so when we come across those difficult things and people come up to you, okay, yes, cousin, okay, Lisa, when people come up to you and you'll be able to give them a testimony, they'll tell you about some things that you know that you just overcame, okay, and you'll be able to tell them, that sounds familiar. I just went through that. And they'll be like, well, how did you overcome it? You'll be able to tell them, look, I ain't gonna lie to you. It wasn't easy, but these are the steps that I was able to go through. And I promise you, you will see the light at the end. You will see the peace, okay? Passes all understanding. You will be able to see that. So this is what I want to end with you all. So we can help people that we come in contact with. Because see, we ain't the grudge holders, right? So in order to get past some things, getting over some things, we got to accept what happened. That's deep, ain't it? And then you all, guess what else we got to do? We got to consider the role that we played in it. And I'm going to leave us with this. Forgiveness frees the soul and heals the heart. Let go of grudges and embrace peace. My family, saints, go with love. Free yourself from holding anything against anybody that had wronged you. Man, thank you, Sister Sabrina. I promise you, your health will get better. Those blessings will come into play. You'll be like, wait a minute, where did this come from? You freed up some stuff. You let go of some things. I'm telling you, I'm not only talking to y'all, I'm talking to myself. I'm telling you, I seen the manifestation of God. I seen what his hands can do. Can't nobody tell me what he won't do. Okay? I promise you, you do those things, y'all, you'll be able to come on to Shireen Hicks and Maureen Sin, and you'll be able to tell them about the testimony on the things that you let go, that you release. Wow, I did this, and in that moment, that second, whatever the case may be, whatever your heart desire, checks, whatever, in the mail, whatever you need, you're going to free up some things. Y'all, I ain't telling you about, I'm not talking about something about somebody else's story. I'm telling you about my story. I'm telling you I used to be that grudge holder. I'm telling you I used to be that person who did not forgive a person for what they did for me. Notice I said that's what I used to be. You looking at a new creature, okay? Christ, woo, Christ is in me, okay? And I promise you all, I want to see all of us blessed. Release, forgive, okay? Forgive so your growth can happen, your health can happen. I'm telling you, y'all gonna be telling me about it. I love you all, saints. See y'all next month. Thank you all for coming on. Definitely appreciate you all. Look, you want to sow into Breaking Through Barrier Ministry. That cash app is $BTBM Ministries. Whatever your heart, keep us in prayer. We asking God for some new things in 2025. We know that it's to come. Thank you all for just coming on, sharing your testimony so others can grow. I appreciate you all for that. Yes, I appreciate you. Love you much. Bye-bye. Yes. So where you grow. Absolutely. Thank you, Play Mom. Yes. Always will be blessed when you need some money. I'm telling y'all. I'm going to just put it out there. Okay. You want to sow in good ground too. That's my last 2 cents. All right.